and the recording is in progress. And I'm pleased. This is Andrew Williams Jr. with Conversations with Andrew Williams Jr., and it will be rebroadcast on the Revelation Network, TRN.TV, International News. And today our guest is Dr. Erna Wong, and I believe also we'll have Mr. Kenneth Wyrick. But I'll turn the floor over to you to introduce yourself and to take us from here, Dr. Wong.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm really honored and grateful for this opportunity. So, my background quickly, I happen to be a graduate from Caltech, then USC Medical School, and Kaiser Permanente to be board certified pediatrician. And I was blessed in the process to be a mother of 9 children. So I certainly had credibility and full experience of raising children. So I had the opportunity to truly relate with parents who their challenges and struggles to be a parent. My passion has been health ever since I was young. I wanted to be a doctor since I was 9 years old. And as things have evolved, I realized that my education through formal teachings of USC was allopathic. And I realized that this is quite different because God has given us the ability to heal ourselves. There are so many natural things that He has provided, that nature has provided for our health. And so it is that Kenneth and I will be starting a blog where we're going to educate about the 6 pillars of health. And it's using the mnemonic or that word way to help you remember is dress with DRESSS. And in the blog that we're going to have, we'll discuss that. But my passion goes beyond just education. I actually am practicing what's called telehealth. Telehealth is evolving even more ever since the COVID time when people were not able to go out and have, interactions, and they ended up having their doctor visits, many of them on telehealth. So interestingly enough, I had been implementing telehealth way long before this became a common tool. As a doctor at Kaiser, I was busy with my practice in the office and being on call in the hospital. So taking care of pediatric cases in the neonatal, labor and delivery ER, and pediatric floor. So in order to provide continuity of care, I learned to make phone calls or handle my patients' concerns over the phone. And I was very comfortable and very capable to see the limits of when I could handle the condition on the phone and then when I need to have them come in to have an appointment. So, but this has evolved even more. I want to share how we can bridge the disparity in healthcare access using AO Scan. AO Scan is a program software developed by a gentleman called, his name is Lawrence Swenson, and the company is Solex Nation. So if you want more information, you can go to their website. It's shop, SHOP dot Solex, SOLEX Nation, NATION as one word, .com. And you can be explore the website and understand what the science behind this. And it's been around for a long time. And I think if you understand pharmaceutical and healthcare, they're really not incentivized or motivated to have you well. They make money by keeping you sick and ill. So they can sell you products or they can sell you surgical procedures, etc. So unless the system changes where there's incentive or motivation to promote health, we're going to be stuck with a system that sees deep pockets in collecting monies for sick care.
Mm-hmm. A question, Dr. Wong. Now,
yes.
right now, this is more of a audio podcast. Can you share your screen, or do you have information you can share with a wider audience?
Yes,
or that
I
would be
can
very
share
helpful.
my screen, and then the other part would be the websites that I said. So let's
That would be
see.
very helpful.
So let me get the screen share, start share. Is that it? Okay. Zoom canvas, whiteboard photos, share camera. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm not as familiar. Always been able to just use the straight zoom and people could see the background. Um, Record transcript, show captions. The virtual background, huh? Maybe my dear friend Kenneth can show how to turn off the virtual picture background. Kenneth, the virtual background. I've got to shut it so I can have a screen. So AO Scan has a lot of visual, the website. And if you want a visual, my website for the next item I'm going to speak about is Godwater, optimum hydration water that can afford a lot of health benefits. And that one is on my website, Godwater. So GODWATER, the number four letter U.com. So I'm still trying to, in order to share my screen, I have to remove the virtual. Yeah. So video record background.
I
Let's
may
see.
be able to bring it up, godwater.com. I may be able to bring it up here.
There you are. Do you see me? There
Oh,
we are.
yes, I do now. Hi there.
Yeah.
Good to
Even
see
though
you.
the San Francisco background. It's fun. Yeah, it brings great memories because dating my husband and we are together 53 years. That's pretty good landmark. But the biggest challenge for us is continuing our legacy to help um, nurture and guide our children. Someone said you shouldn't say raise your children. But no, I am blessed. From the 9 children, I have 15 grandchildren. But I am the product of Godwater. This is me at 71. Tomorrow's my birthday. I can't hear you on the speaker thing.
That was only because I'm muted.
Very good. Very good.
Would you
So
like me to share
this,
my screen with Godwater, or can you share your screen?
yeah, share this Godwater screen. Yes, it
Okay,
is
just a
a
moment.
structured water.
Okay, just a moment, please.
While you're raising it up, the core of that frequency in that Godwater was Immucyst, and I'll show you the data if you want. The man who developed Immucyst wanted to help children with HIV/AIDS back in the 2000 time. And he, after 3 years of attempting to find it, he found a surfactant that became the core actual product, Immucyst. And he sent that product free to those in Rwanda, Uganda, among whom a lot had HIV/AIDS. And the doctor who administered it, he kept records, and it's on a PowerPoint I can share with you and your um, listeners. Um, from over 1,000 registered HIV positive AIDS, 1,000 converted from positive to negative. And it was tested by the military. So it was not something, they knew what the people were getting. It's essentially a blinded. Now, when Jim Gates showed his data results to the uh, medical community, they laughed at him and said, that's not a clinical trial. Now, whoever said that was totally inaccurate. If you know, clinical trials can be what's called prospective. It can be retrospective, which you look back and, evaluate cases. It can be prospective, meaning you look forward and see the results. And then there is double-blind studies, etc. So there's different ways to conduct clinical trials. But in the situation where Jim Gates had it, it's preponderance of results. If you have, like, say, 1,020 or 30 patients HIV positive, and 1,000 of them became negative. That is definitely statistically significant that the product or whatever you're doing was effective. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. Now, is this the correct website that I'm showing?
No, that's
Then
somebody
tell me,
else's.
what is
It's
the,
Godwater for
oh,
the
Godwater 4.
number four, letter
Mm-hmm.
U.com.
Okay, Godwater for the
For,
letter U.
so number four, letter U.com.
Okay, godwater4u.com. Hmm.
So there you go. That's it.
Okay, all right.
The very frequencies of God infused with water to bring healing and rejuvenation. So optimum hydration is very critical, even at the cellular level, because the production of energy requires water in the chemical process, and water needing to enter into the cell. This product, Immucyst, originally made by Jim Gates, allowed each H2O to enter the cells. Otherwise, it's clustered or clumping. It's too big to cross the cell membrane. Do you have an understanding of that?
So far, would you like me to scroll down, or would you like me to
You
go
can
through this
scroll
part?
down. Yes,
Okay.
you can scroll down as I explained. So, when FDA threatened Jim Gates that he couldn't make claims that it helped autism or this or that condition, he was just sharing testimonials. But you know how FDA is, they do not want a product that is so inexpensive and effective. Jim Gates had that product around for about 20 some years. And I came across it on YouTube where William Mount was sharing his wife stage 4 colon cancer used Immucyst with Citricare, which is vitamin C. Later on, William Mount told me you need to also have seaweed, which has iodine. So that three combination helped his wife go into remission. And he tried to take high dose of Immucyst to see if there was any lethal, and he found that his diabetes condition was improved, such he didn't need insulin. So I, based on that YouTube, said, I'll try and see what it'll do for taking care. I developed thyroid adenocarcinoma, and after cancer removal, it relapsed. I didn't tolerate taking Synthroid, which is used to suppress growth of the thyroid. So when you have a hormone you're taking by mouth or however, your body won't make it because there's a feedback system that tells you don't need it because you're making it or you have enough. Well, when I stopped or decreased the amount of thyroid replacement, then the cancer and the thyroid regrew. And I did want to have chemotherapy or radiation. I went forth and saw that YouTube on Immucyst. So I bought one, and my first dose, it took care of my acid reflux vocal cord damage. It was incredible that I could heal the scarring and the ability to take a deep breath and talk normally and sing. It was amazing that the first dose gave me that result. And over time, it's reversed my aging. It definitely has kept the thyroid cancer in check. But I've helped other people with their conditions. I can go through a whole list of it. And there were other testimonials in the website, but somehow I heard someone removed it. So I have to go back and review it. But in any case, you can continue to scroll down. Basically, Godwater doesn't have any physical product. It's just water, H2O, distilled water that had any frequencies removed. And then my friend, who's my partner, has a machine called radionics that's able to take frequencies from, say, gold, silver, or whatever, and transfer it or imprint that frequency onto the water. So anyone who has a bottle of Godwater, it looks like, smells like, tastes like water. Unless you have equipment, you could measure the frequencies, then you'll know what is structured in the frequencies. My friend and I have decided we would like to have stem cells, frequencies that'll assist for antidepressant, um, good healthy weight, good sleep, so on. So there's quite a few. There's over 72 frequencies, including ivermectin, wormwood, silver, gold. So the benefits of Godwater is, to me, optimum hydration, but the water molecule is carrying frequencies of other products that is of benefit to us. Any questions?
Well, so far I'm tracking you. I have no questions yet. I'm just eager to learn. So thank you so much for sharing. You can direct me though on your website and let me know if I could, where I need to go, or just tell
You
me
can
how I can proceed.
continue to scroll down. So I have stewardship over Godwater. Why do I say stewardship and why is it called Godwater? Jim Gates, when he made the physical Immusys product, which was extracted from a plant, he put his hands on the vat of the solution and he felt energy leave from him to that vat. And I believe and understand it to be God's energy. The reason is Immucyst has been studied physically by laboratories in China and US by at least 5 or 6 laboratories, and they're all incredulous or amazed because there's no way to duplicate it. Every single molecule of Immucyst is identical. And I mean identical because in science, isomers are different shapes of a product. Let's say you have people know there's albuterol. Albuterol is a medication that was designed to take care of asthma, and it actually has 2 shapes, a left and a right, meaning a mirror image, because the molecule could be folded or shaped. And so if randomly you made that, it would be half the left molecule and then half the right, because that's probability. If you have a million of that molecule, half 50-50. So probability is important because in the case of Immucyst, it's 1,000 Dalton long, if I remember correctly. But let's say it's even 100 Dalton size. It's able to fold and shape into 100 different shapes. But when people analyzed Immucyst, it was only the one shape. How is that possible? Interestingly enough, I believe it's because God, in his energy, was able to flip all those other 99 different shapes and, in a sense, commanded all to be identical shape. And why is that important? In chemistry, you have receptors to hormones or other things we have in our body. And if you have a receptor that is shaped a certain way, it's not going to recognize a shape that it doesn't fit. It's like doing a puzzle and you're trying to fit that puzzle piece. So if Immucyst is identical, that same shape, then it's very efficient and very capable of binding to the receptor. And in this case, you know, activating whatever it needs to. Do you see that? Can you understand what I just explained?
Well, I do see that. However, I do want to let you know that part of my intent, in addition to just recording this, was to have an AI note taker to be able to add the transcript. And I
Yes.
just realized that I was just now able to have it to join us. So
Ah,
I have 2 questions for you. One, Godwater was actually part 2 of our conversation. Now,
mhm.
is it possible for us to do part 1
Sure thing.
from
I'd
the
be very
beginning?
happy. No
Uh,
problem.
all right, thank you so much. And we'll just consider this to be a restart, a Hollywood do-over. So I'm
Sure.
going to stop sharing my screen, and then we can just begin at the beginning. And if you have time after that, we can revisit this, if that's okay with you.
Very fine. And you could share AO Scan's website.
Certainly. Just a moment, please. And that's AOSCAN,
Well, you'll need to go to shop, SHOP
SHOP,
dot Solex Nation,
SOLAX.
Solex, like Rolodex or
Mm-hmm.
Rolex, EX, so SOLEX Nation,
Yes.
NATION.com. That will
.com.
take you to its website, and it is well done because they have highly professional, and they've done this for over about almost 20 years.
Excellent. Excellent.
Now, amazing origin of AOScan. The man who developed AOScan adopted a son about 40 years ago who had cerebral palsy, and that
Mm-hmm.
is a stroke in a baby. So they name it differently when it's a stroke in a baby born with cerebral palsy. It's pretty devastating. So he adopted a 9 month old, and as he saw the young boy growing to 4 or 5 years old, now is going to need a wheelchair. So he searched all over to see what was available to help. And he found that China and Russia, and probably it's Germany, was developing software that was analyzing and using frequencies, such that he developed a physical device that used frequencies of balancing vestibular stim, auditory, your hearing, optic, your visual. And with that, he made a physical theta chamber. And that young boy grew up to have a black belt in karate and speak multiple languages.
Wow.
So from that, he continued to use that physical device, a theta chamber. So you can actually go into a device where it spins you around, you hear music, you have light, and it's amazing. The theta frequency has many healing properties. So once the internet came on, then he said, wow, now I can put it on a device such as your laptop, your tablet, your cell phone, so long as it can handle the data. So you have to have something like Chrome or Safari because there's a lot of data it's gathering. And you understand because you use AI.
Is this the right
AI is
website, by the
collecting
way?
data.
Is this the right website?
That's correct. That's
Okay.
correct. Solex Nation. And the prime product is the AO Scan. I haven't confirmed it. Somebody says it's alpha omega, but I still believe the best is automatic optimization. And these are other products they have. They have wands, they have watches, because now everybody's jumping on board for infrared, far infrared, wands and heat and so on. Because
Mhm.
it boils down, if you understand quantum mechanics, quantum
Yes.
energy. Yeah. So
And coherence.
blessed, right. So I'm blessed. I went to Caltech and my professor wrote the physics textbook on quantum mechanics, quantum energy.
Mm.
And he actually demonstrated visuals of how light can be particle and wave. So being blessed by a great professor in trying to describe and explain quantum energy. And so I would refer your listeners to Einstein, to Tesla, and you guys may not know as much of Raymond Rife, a Rife machine. Have you heard of a Rife machine?
Not until now.
It's a frequency generating machine. So you
Okay.
can look it up, Rife. And then the other is Gaudiali Dinshaw, the man who used the spectrum of light using
Mm.
sunlight. You know, we need the sun. Without it, we are dead because we need heat from it, but also sun helps us to have vitamin D for bone development, right? Vitamin D.
Okay.
And plants photosynthesis. Without photosynthesis, we don't have plants, and the plants are food for animals, et cetera, or algae. We would not be able to survive. So it's very important that we respect our sun. And if somebody's trying to destroy our sun, then that's going to be devastating for us,
For everyone. Well,
for
for
every
those
living thing. Mm,
for those for those that cannot read what is on the screen, I'm going to take the opportunity to just review this if that's okay with you.
perfect.
So, Solex, empowering you to live your best life. 40 years ago, Lauren Swenson embarked on a journey to help his son with cerebral palsy. He traveled the world learning about different therapies and talking to experts in various fields of study in hopes of finding ways to improve his son's quality of life. Years later, having the opportunity to compile all the information he learned, he brought to market a frequency software, now known as AO Scan technology. This software has been developed and improved for decades, being the most advanced frequency software of its kind that can help you learn how your body is performing. AO Scan has helped millions of people discover the best versions of themselves, inside and out, changing the way people approach their health. This has opened doors for Solex to challenge the status quo by providing more products, including supplements with the latest technology and the finest ingredients at an affordable price. We're committed to help you live your best life by taking a new approach to wellness and putting your health back in your hands. And these are YouTube videos where you can learn how Solex came to be, and an introduction to AO Scan of the future of wellness. I believe that's what it is. So you'll have to direct me now, Dr. Wong, as to how you'd like us to proceed.
Well, I have used the AO scan for over 4 years now, and I know because I'm a trained physician, the terminologies they use are all medical. So don't be overwhelmed. And just as when you go to your doctor's office and you take this lab test or x-ray, whatever, you don't need to know all the details. If he says to you, everything looks good, just come back in a month, or he says, oh, it looks like here we need to work a little bit on your HDL or the lipids that lead to or prevent heart attacks and cardiovascular diseases. And then he'll tell you, well, I recommend this, and come back. But you never go if I unless you're very, very compulsive to review all the data and all the results one by one. It would take so many hours if you were to review what AO Scan is able to analyze. In about 20 minutes or less, I can give you 150 pages of data on your body that your doctor typically would not do. It's like an angiogram, CT, MRI, and blood work, not a single drop of blood taken from you by this scan by remote. And we can tell what your blood count, your platelets, we can tell your chromosomes. We're able to see if you're low in sugar, low in salt and potassium, and what minerals you might be missing and what vitamins, or you're eating too much or too little of a certain food group that is critical for the building blocks of your body. So this is truly affordable at $150 a month once you get the subscription to
Mhm.
take care of your whole family and your pets. You have a cat or dog, this can scan your cat or dog. And truly, you can scan your plant. If you have a favorite rose bush or an orchid and is having issues, there's capabilities. It's all molecules, it's
Now,
all
is
frequencies.
there so for the $150 monthly subscription,
Yeah,
is there an initial
correct. They
um
want you to
that-
get a bundle to enter kind, but you have options to be either just a retail customer or preferred customer or part of their associate, which is their multi-level marketing. So that's how they're distributing or getting awareness is using an MLM. But
okay.
you have a choice. You have three options. And there's different pricing because you do get price breaks if you're part of the MLM, on top of which the commission is pretty, the compensation package is pretty reasonable. Very amazing, 40%. And then there's incentives for trips and so on. But what I love is you control your health in your own hand. You don't have to wait for appointment with a physician, return phone call, or a copay or pre-authorization. All this hurdles that is so difficult when you need help maybe right away. I mean, if you have a chest pain and you need to get to emergency room right away because you're not sure if it's just heartburn or anxiety or a heart attack. Because the worst is it's a heart attack and then minutes count. So this you can access right away. As I was saying to you earlier, I had a friend whose mom had a stroke. And by using the scan, I'm in Florida, she's in Valencia. I was able to take care of her that in 3 hours she's talking again. Or with another phone, I used another account and scan a woman with blood clots in her lungs in the ICU. And she was able to, by the scan, have the blood clot shrunk. And she goes home and finish care and management of the blood clot. While I'm in front of five people in Florida with another phone and another account. And so I was able to help a man who had been hit by a semi in his car. So he was essentially encased in his car. And then with the jaws of life, they freed him, but he went through so many surgeries and recuperating still with a lot of pain and discomfort. It's amazing he lived that crash, but he was able with the scan and some other devices that AO Scan sells, Solex, he was able to finally get pain relief as well as be able to sleep. So these are my own experiences, but there are many more. If you go to, there's now a chat room on WhatsApp that people are sharing their testimonials. That includes cancer treatment. Um, my friend used mine, and the person's cirrhosis of liver, end-stage liver, was reversed.
Wow. Wow.
So
So
we're
now
looking, yeah,
I do see now that people can find on YouTube Solex information on the AO scan and Solex. Is that correct? On YouTube is one way they can find that?
correct. They can learn more because they've got whole library of YouTubes to explain because there's so much. I mean, I, as even a physician, don't know everything because this is more of naturopathic homeopathic. They
Hmm.
use frequencies of essential oils, herbs, so on, and others that I'm not familiar with because I was trained on allopathic, which is you look at diseases and you prescribe medications or surgery, such, right? But
Right.
for the Solex people, they know, and I agree, they're natural products that God created,
Well,
that God created.
the great news is that since we are doing a Hollywood do-over, now would be the time again to let our audience know who you are and how
Uh-huh.
to reach you. And then
Okay.
if you have 15 more minutes, we'll transition over to Godwater if you have time, and we'll do a
Hmm.
walkthrough with that as well. But the ball is in your court, Dr. Wong.
Thank you so much again. I'm very honored and grateful so I can share this with the world. We are doing a great um, bridging the healthcare gap. I've been throughout the world. Dr. Erna Wong traveled to India, to China, to Ghana, to Haiti, Dominican Republic, Colombia, and I've seen the disparity in healthcare. And this should not continue. I don't know what other organizations have been doing, but I know with these two products for sure, we will be able to bring basic health to everyone. When I was in Ghana, I shared AO Scan. So they were able to scan mom and baby pregnant, huh? And be able to detect and help with parasites, because that's a big one. Clean water is so important throughout the world. Would you agree?
Yes,
Right?
yes, yeah,
One
and
of
yeah.
the fundamental basic needs is clean water. And so this is what the AO scan is able to help. It scans your body from head to toe and analyzes the molecules. So I, as a doctor, graduated from USC Medical School and trained to be a physician, a pediatrician. However, my journey took me to cancer of the thyroid. And then I came to be familiar with complementary or homeopathic, naturopathic medicine, a different protocol. And I realized that as a hybrid, I know both sides of the equation of medical care. Really, we have so much available that doesn't have the side effects of surgery and man-made medications. I mean, you listen to the ads, it just blows my mind. If you take this drug for depression, there's increased suicide. Why would you take a drug of that you want to prevent suicide? It just, and yet the doctors will prescribe it and the patients will take it. Or how about Ozempic, for losing weight or dealing with diabetes? And yet there's 7 known cancers of the thyroid, and then there's paralysis of your stomach that people have died or very sick. So it just really, I can't fathom why people would trade a condition that can be managed without side effects or minimal.
Well, on that note, let's transition over to Godwater. How about that?
Okay, so we need water, and this
Wait,
is what
wait,
I
just a
said
moment, just a
earlier.
moment, just a moment, just a
Sure.
moment. Let me do a two steps here. So this is being
Mhm.
brought to you in one case by TRN International News, and we are presenting the Yakba network of media ambassadors and citizen journalists from around the world. And I'm your host, the Honorable Andrew Williams Jr. And yes, there is a story behind that, but we won't go into it at the moment.
Hmm.
This is also
Mhm.
this effort is also being brought to you by my counterpart, which is Conversations with Andrew Williams Jr. And today I'm having the opportunity and a pleasure. Let me make sure I have your first name is correctly. Please announce that correctly, please.
Mhm. Erna, Erna, and my last name is Wong, Wong.
And how can people reach you, Dr. Wong?
So my email is fine. It's dr. Erna, ERNA, at gmail.com. And the other is my phone, 949-390-3988. So you can get a free demo of AO Scan that we were talking about before by emailing me. And then for the Godwater, you can use the website godwater4u.com. So it's GODWATER, number four, letter U.com. And
Well,
that
thank you.
has more information. Mhm.
Well, thank you. And that'll be a perfect transition because as you see again, this is also part of our ongoing series,
Mm.
Conversations with Andrew Williams Jr. But I will now share my screen with the website for godwater4u.com. Just,
So Godwater, while he's bringing the screen share, is a structured water. And so it's water, and then the device radionics is able to structure or imprint water with the frequencies that we choose to put. So the water is distilled water, cleaned of any frequencies first, and then we decide what frequencies we want to have. So as that water molecule is entering your cells, it's like a carrier transporting the frequencies into your cells or the animal, whatever um, water you're using for, because you can use this for plants and the plants will receive those frequencies, and animals and then humans. And if you want to learn more of this science, have you been aware of Dr. Emoto with his experience and water with exposure to frequencies, right? Your words are frequencies, your thoughts. So Dr. Emoto showed that you could put a card written with words, and if they were positive words, the water could become crystallized with beautiful shapes. If it was words written such as hate, murder, and negative energy, that target water, when it's frozen, is ugly, never formed any symmetric, beautiful crystals. So this is important. We're 70 to 80% water. And so your body is affected by your thoughts and by energy of people around you. So someone with negative energy, negative thoughts is hurting you. You're actually ill from that negative energy. On the other hand, someone is giving you positive energies of love, support, caring, understanding, then your body is way more healthier and happier. It makes sense. You know how you feel when you're around people that are loving, caring, and nurturing versus someone who's yelling and disparaging or criticizing. You feel it in your own body of being targeted and not feeling good. So it's so true. And Dr. Emoto visually proved it and showed it. Even professor asking the students to shout out as they, run by water, or there was an experiment using rice, cooked rice, and with words next to the rice. And if it was positive energy, the rice stayed fluffy and good. If it was negative, it became moldy, ugly, and disgusting. So being careful what we say to ourselves, what we say to others, can affect their health and well being, and more especially what we tell ourselves. Our affirmations, when you wake up in the morning and state, I am a child of God and I'm capable of many things. Jesus stated, Thou shalt do many things, greater things in my name.
well,
So we can command, isn't it true?
well, yes, yes, and yes. Again, as we walk through here, I do see that there are several options for people to access
Mm-hmm.
Godwater for you. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask people to contact you directly. That will be, for me,
Sure.
the
Uh-huh.
smartest thing. But as I
Right.
understand it, you can choose the product, select the frequency, enjoy
Mm-hmm.
regular deliveries, and also manage their subscription once they connect with you, Dr. Wong. Is
Mm-hmm.
that correct?
That's correct. So and I'm very hands-on, and instead of a robot answering, I like the personal touch. I still believe When we connect as humans, not robots, there's an energy and power of healing and nurturing. We know studies, definitely, I know, children in orphanages that are not held and nurtured and loved, they don't thrive. They won't even eat. So really, AI shouldn't be a threat to us because they'll never replace the human empathy, touch, and compassion. Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. And after all,
So
AI could be considered to be augmented intelligence as well as artificial intelligence, in
that's
my personal
exactly
opinion.
right. It is helping us to do more of what we can do, or maybe take over some of the things we don't need to have to do, and allows us to do the better things that human touch cannot replace, you know? I am inviting all of you. My intent with all this is the funds to even a grant I'm getting that we can help orphans of the world. You realize it makes another, what, eighth country? If you gather all the orphans of the world.
Wow. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Wong, for this enlightening conversation. I am going to bring this to a close now and ask again if
Mm.
you'd be so kind as to share with our audience ways to reach you, and then we'll have a
Okay,
follow up at your next convenience. How about that?
absolutely. So you can reach me by email, dr.erna, ERNA, at gmail.com, or by text and call to my cell, 949-390-3988. Thank you so much for this time to share and invite all of us to help this world be a better place.
I'll
Health and
share.
wealth.
It's been my pleasure. And another Conversations with Andrew Williams Jr. And this is again for the TRN International News and our YAGPA network of Goodwill ambassadors around the world, which we hope you might be able to join us, Dr. Wong, as one of our Goodwill ambassadors to bring these good
Mhm.
news to people around the world. Thank you so much.
Mhm. Absolutely. I'm passionate about education, so we're going to help establish schools and to nurture, encourage holistic education.
Excellent. Well, I know education is very close to the heart of Kenneth Wyrick, who brought you here. So I look
Right.
forward to finding ways we can work and network together.
Very good. Thank you again for your time, and God bless you, Andrew, Honorable Andrew Williams. Mm.
Oh, by the way, in closing, that Honorable Andrew Williams Jr. was actually granted to me as an appointment. In 2008, I shut down my offline life and decided to come online for the next 50 years. And
Oh.
in the beginning of that, I was recognized by an organization called globecal.net, and I was appointed as one of the first Facebook ambassadors. So that's when
Mm.
I was actually issued the title of the Honorable Andrew Williams Jr.
Ah. Well, very, very special. Thank you so much. And I would love to support your international ventures because, as I felt, we have to take care of this planet and all of us together make a difference.
Agreed. Thank you, Dr. Wan. Love you so
Thank you.
much. Talk
Have
to
a
you soon.
wonderful day. We'll talk to you again. Bye. Okay. So how long have they had this international, yeah, interview? It's been doing